Hi everybody, I'm Emma.
Hi, I'm Nilza, and this is
Unnies.
Unnies BL
Oh,
Talk,
BL
a
podcast.
BL podcast. Through this podcast, we'll take you through our thoughts on everything BL, share ours and your unpopular opinion, and so much more. So you can listen to our podcast every Thursday on whichever platform you use to listen to your podcast from. And on today's episode, we'll be focusing on one drama, which is Dead Bodies, which ended recently, and just share our thoughts on it overall. Before we actually start, I just wanted to, because I was listening into our previous episode, and I just realized that we made a mistake, Emma. When I said, when we were talking about Together the series, the band wasn't Getsunova, it was Scrub, which we both liked also. Getsunova did was the Theory of Love soundtrack, and Scrub was Together the
Ah,
series. And I forgot to mention one couple. I see that's the issue. My list was too long already, but I forgot to mention one couple, and that was Bilkin and PP Crate's character on I told the sunset about you, and I promised you the moon.
ah,
Yeah,
that makes sense because you raved about it. Was highly raved, that drama.
literally, and the drama is amazing.
Yes.
Um, Anyhow, okay, for today's episode, we're going to be talking about Bed Buddies, TMMTV's BL that ended recently, that the entire world loved, and all of us loved. We both mentioned it on our previous episodes, as because it included a couple that we both liked quite a lot.
Oh
So
yeah.
yeah, do you want to start? I guess we'll just go through like what we our impressions in the beginning, how it's developed, and what we thought of the later part of the drama overall, and then share our favorite points or less favorite points, interesting things we thought about the drama. Yeah,
Okay, so
take it
let's
away, Emma.
start with um, first impressions of the drama. So for me, first impressions were I was actually pretty excited for this one, um, in that both Nanon and um, Om were both acting alongside each other. So it'd been a while since I'd seen any of their work. For me, anyway, because I hadn't seen some of their other work recently at that time. So for me, it was nice to see them come together and do a con. So in that respect, I was like, okay, this looks interesting already. And the trailer was a small snippet, so for me it felt like it didn't cover everything, which is good because it felt like as the drama progressed, you really got to see what um, the essence of the drama itself. So I feel like the trailer was actually, pretty good, and I was intrigued by it already. So I'm glad, I tuned into it as soon as the trailer came out.
I guess for me it was similar as well because when the trailer came out, to be honest, I found it funny, and because I was waiting for something new from Om and Nanon as well. I had higher expectations, I guess, because P.O.F. did
Mm.
quite a few dramas that I love, including A Tale from a Thousand Stars. So I had hopes. I knew, to be honest, I didn't have like because the plot is quite it's nothing special. I mean, the plot itself,
It's nothing special. That's true.
yeah.
Yes.
But I knew I wouldn't be disappointed, even though it was a simple plot.
Yeah.
So that's how I went in with it. And then when I started watching like the initial episodes, I got annoyed about the all the fighting that was going on, and through like the various BL drama YouTube channels, I realized that, and Twitter as well, I realized that it was even worse on the novel, which I have now purchased from like the English translation, official one. So I'm looking
Hmm.
forward to read it. And I thought that I was like, oh, okay, I'm glad they toned it down, but I still found it was really too much. Literally, they were fighting every episode for no reason, and things that made no sense. I know that boys fight for no reason. I mean, they're stupid in most cases, especially growing up. But yeah, I was quite annoyed, and I really thought that both Pat and his friends were very immature, and literally, and I didn't have much hope for any of them. And on Pran's case, it was his friends as well, also immature. So yeah, I didn't have much thought. And as he went on, I guess they grew and there was a good character development, especially for Pat's friends, Corn and so on. I don't know the name of the others. So by that, I was happy.
I think speaking from that angle as well, yes, there was definitely a large progression in Korn's character and his friend and the rest of his friends as well, which was good. So
Hmm.
I agree with you on that one.
Okay. And or actually, I have a confession to make.
Oh,
On well, there was on episode. I think initial episodes. My favorite one was episode 5, like the whole episode about Pat realizing and confirming his feelings for Pran. I loved it. For me, it was one of the best executed episodes throughout across the entire show.
definitely.
But the first thing was, am I the only one that thought that Pat and Y shouldn't have returned in Y's bike? Because they had, like, they drunk on that night. Like, how could they return on his bike with Y driving after Y had also drunk quite a lot in that evening to celebrate? I don't even remember what they would
Drumland
celebrate.
doesn't exist. In Drumland, it doesn't exist.
Okay, that was the first, that was the first, like, mini shock. But then Pat's shower scene. Oh my god. It was like the Korean drama shower scene. It was exactly like the Korean drama shower scene.
Yes.
Like literally, the fan in me was like, they should have given us more camera angles, a few close-ups here
I
and
think
there.
if they had added anything else, then
Yeah,
most fans would have been
but then no, but
outright
then literally,
appreciated.
as my brain went down that route, as my mind went down that route, my brain was like, Nilza, Nong China is like, how old is he? 21, 22, something like that. There's literally,
He's definitely a lot younger than we are.
but again, we would have appreciated those camera angles. I feel like we would have, it would have built up so much to the scene. So yeah, I feel like it could have done with a few different angles and close-ups and so on. I'm just saying, but yeah,
True,
and
but like I said, I think it would have been very difficult to finish that one episode segment if they'd have changed the angle.
what about you? Any specific parts you recall from the beginning?
Um, I don't feel like there was any scene that stuck out specifically. The fighting scene was a bit much. It felt like I was watching a Japanese drama or a film.
Hmm.
Um,
I'm thinking right now, all of the ones with Sota Fukushi are kind of like they do have quite a few. Some with Yamazaki Kento, and some with Shuhei Nomura. Yeah, they always have like fighting scenes in them.
hence why I like that. It felt like I was watching a Japanese drama without the Japanese in
Mm, yeah.
the actual script. That was intriguing to me, or at least kind of like, this is gonna get interesting. Where they
Mm,
made the bet between Pat and Pan, where they made their bet they said to see who falls in love first.
mm,
They already feel something, but
yeah,
it seemed like they were in complete denial over
yeah,
over that fact. And then they go and make a bet, so it was a bit like you're just trying to add salt to injury, insult to injury, sorry, by you know you have feelings and then you go and make a bet and say let's see who falls first. So it was a very, I feel like the relationship was very push and pull often.
yeah, yeah. I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that they weren't even technically they weren't friends before they fell in love with each other, I guess. But yeah, it was ridiculous because please, they had that massive big ass kiss and then let's
That's true. I
see who
mean
falls in love first.
that kiss held a lot of emotion. It was a
Yeah.
that kiss that stood out in terms of BL fandom. That was a kiss that was worth more than anything I could put into words.
It was a testament to how good of an actor Nanon is. Literally, it showed everything, not just the kiss itself, like the moment, the build up to the kiss, and then the moments after the kiss. It was everything was perfectly done. Like that pain, that angus a bit, like especially on Pran's side, the realization that he knows what he's feeling, but he knows that he can't let himself feel what he's feeling because of what could happen and the
Exactly. He
consequences
already
of those feelings.
had in his mind the repercussions that were going to come out of what would happen if they got together.
Exactly.
So you can
Yeah,
kind of see that raw emotion in his eyes,
it
even
was
before he
beautiful.
says, even before there are any words exchanged between them.
Yeah, exactly. It's just very silent and very strong. And then I guess after we passed that kiss mark and the episodes went on, I was happy with how like they worked out getting closer and getting to know it, even though they grew up next door to each other, like them working out, rediscovering things they probably didn't know, even though they grew up close to each other, like next door to each other.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, I like how they show the entire process, and then I also liked how they matured, especially Pat, and how each of them had impact on the other. Like I said in the previous episode, like Fran became so much more outgoing, a bit more daring. Pat definitely improved. Like the change in Pat was like the strongest, and I also loved seeing him doing things for Pran because he has Pa do everything for him. Like Pa goes and takes his clean goes and picks up his dirty clothes to take home to be washed and brings them back clean. She helps with everything. Whenever he's late or something, she's the one that drives him to places and things like that.
exactly.
So the fact that he went out of his way to do all of those little things for Pran, it was really good, and it did show how he was trying to like make his love be known by
To be fair,
Pran.
though, that's true, but I
Mm,
think it was already quite obvious as well in
yeah, I mean
how
it was obvious from the get go.
he was quite straightforward about it, more so
Yeah,
than what Pan could ever do. Just
yeah,
because, yes, he had feelings, but at times it seemed like he wasn't quite that confident to
mm,
show it outside of the relationship towards others.
yeah.
You can definitely see he comes out more of his shell.
And I think that's another good impact that Pat had on Pran because, like you said, he is not a very outgoing person. Going against his parents, I guess his mom mainly,
Mm.
is not. So it took him a lot. Even towards on the last episodes when they discover all those things that their parents have been hiding from them, and
Yeah.
then him arguing with his mom about why she didn't tell him. I guess why both parents didn't tell them. And then even on the last episode, was it the last episode or the second to last? The second to last episode, where Pran was concerned about his mom, like because he never ran away from the house like that.
Mm.
Yeah, and never went against her or anything. So him always wanting to go and talk things out with her, but staying for Pat and staying with Pat because he knew that Pat needed him to be with him and things like that. It was done beautifully.
I think for me there was another part that kind of showed real testament as well when Han was crying and then you have Pat kind of comfort him and he's crying too, but he's thinking my lover needs me to be strong for him, so
Mm,
I'm gonna lend him my shoulder. I can cry,
mm,
but I'm gonna lend him my shoulder and be the stronger
mm,
one. But you can see
exactly.
just how much of a change there is aside from other changes he's made.
And actually, another good thing about the drama, how they broke the curse of the episode 11. Because we were all like literally, you saw all the TikToks, like the entire online world, the entire universe was scared. Especially, obviously, we didn't know whether they were going to give us a happy ending, but I couldn't see Pierre of not giving us a happy ending, at least like a proper ending, which I thought the ending was perfect. And even though I do want a season two, I want like a season two with some more ink and Pat or something like that. Or to be honest, just to see them as adults, I don't mind. Or seeing the families because they kind of show like the hint of the families acceptance. Not, but obviously they spent decades in that feud, so I'm sure it would take time.
Made it quite surreal, and not surreal, but had a more of a real feeling that
Mhm.
yes, they're trying to reconcile, but it's done really slowly. It's a
Yeah.
slight. I forgive you a little bit. I'm going to give you take a little bit of the cookie, a little bit of it, a little bit of it. So that was nice
Mm,
because it's true. Not everything can be resolved overnight or within just 1 second. It's not like that. So and that was
mm,
that's quite true to the nature. So if they do a season two, I hope they come to a point of that they have forgiven each other. I would say entirely, depending on how far they're gonna go into.
mm,
I
mm.
think definitely more so than what they have been already.
Yeah, I think I would want to see the process as well. Yeah, of them working out because that something would have to happen. Both both sets of parents have decided not to go against them and turn the blind eye because I mean they were stupid enough to think that neither set of parents would know. They were being so obvious, like they were being so loud, so obvious. Was it Pran? Yeah, no, when Pat fell and Pran's mom heard a noise, and the dad was like, "Are you going to stop them?" And then she just said, "Yeah." She said nothing, and then just focused on what they were watching. And actually, let's talk about Pran's dad, the actor. Oh my God, have you seen him? Like, have you seen Pran's dad?
Um, Not fully, but enough so in the episodes that you do get to see him. But yeah, because the storyline wasn't focused so much on
Just
his
Google him.
but yeah,
You'll thank me. You'll thank me. Just listen. I saw a few clips of him on Twitter and stuff. You'll thank me, believe me. The man, he's well endowed.
yes.
He doesn't look like a dad at all. When you see his real, like, is himself in real life pictures, you wouldn't say he played the father of a 20-year-old child. But anyhow,
An early bloomer.
pretty much, yeah. Unless that was the case,
Things that annoyed me.
or you didn't like as much.
I think at first with both friends from Pat and Pan, both of
Mm.
them in the beginning, there were a lot to take. I felt like even though I watched the episodes, at times it felt like it was a bit too much. I know not, every person has some kind of personality trait about them that's probably not likable, but for them it was they were always at odds and against each other, and it was at times it felt extremely intense. So sometimes I felt like turning it off or pausing and then collecting myself again and then rewatching it
Mm.
because just purely for their sake of the friends, just because of that. I knew it'd get better, but yeah, the friends were a lot to take in that respect.
Yeah, definitely. I understand the faculty rivalry. I mean, every school has it.
Oh yeah,
My
exactly.
school, if even when I was in school, we had rivalry with other departments and things like that. You don't expect everyone to like each other, but you don't just have random fights for no reason. I mean, do you see how they destroy the bloody bus stop? It served a purpose, but still. Oh my
Um,
God.
to be fair, I can't say that it's anything different. Maybe in any other country, they've probably done
Mm,
far worse, or maybe they've done exactly the same,
yeah,
or maybe what some others have done things, but not to that level. Like maybe
yeah,
slightly.
I'm sure.
But yeah, destroying a bus stop is probably a bit much, even for a normal high schooler or a college student.
Exactly.
At
And
that point, they would know better.
yeah. Yeah, I think yeah, the friends' immaturity on both sides annoys me, but I was happy that Corn matured. Actually, uh Pat's friends, even though they were the ones that annoyed me the most in the beginning, they were the ones that I was the happiest with in the end as well. Because obviously when when everyone discovered that they were dating, they didn't turn their back on them. Obviously only momentarily, so the P's wouldn't be annoyed at them.
Only a case of like they only turned their back on him because the other friend was behaving in such a way, oh we have to follow suit as well. And that was
Yeah,
something I didn't really like. So it was kind of like
yeah.
following sheep in that
But
respect.
at least, but no, I know I know I agree with you on that one. But at least as soon as like I mean they did that thing in the cafeteria so the seniors would see it. But then he went out and apologized and spoke to him like immediately just to
Yeah,
clear things out.
true.
At least they did that.
Yeah,
While Frank's friend, not so much. They will be immature, like really, and they just proved him wrong, right because if that's how they're going to react, obviously he wouldn't feel comfortable to tell them the truth. And
exactly.
the other thing that I didn't like until the end was the fact that why didn't apologize for outing them in public because he orchestrated the
The curtain falling.
The curtain falling. Exactly. Like, how can you out someone like that? That's literally that's really disrespectful.
For me, that was another thing that kind of really irked at me in the sense
Yeah.
annoyed me a lot. I'm gonna
Yeah.
say that. I could say far worse, but I will keep it at PG slightly less. But yeah, that was another thing that really did annoy me as well. And I just thought some friend knew well that you would go to that distance.
Mm.
It kind of really showed he is that he really needed to grow up and think for himself. That he was when really it's not that at all. He doesn't have to tell you anything. He doesn't have to
Yeah.
say he's in a
Yeah.
relationship or what's going on.
You
You
just
don't.
need to be there for him. That's what a friend. That's what a friend's for.
You should be there to listen to him and be there for him. That's it.
Yeah.
You don't need to pry any more than that or want to know everything. That's not how the friend works.
And he should know that if the friend didn't tell him, that's because he felt like he couldn't tell or he wasn't ready to tell. It's not like, oh, you betrayed me. Please. It's not about you. My
It,
friend, it's not about you.
but I think that's what it was. That
Mm.
he was too selfish in that aspect to
Mm.
not think of Pan's feelings that way at all. So in that, yeah, that's another thing that kind of really annoyed me.
Mm.
I think that
Exactly.
was two moments that really like grinded against me. And I was like, no, this no.
And oh, and the xylophone scene as well. I was so happy that um Om got to show his skills, and I'm glad that he felt proud about the scene. I mean, we all felt proud about it. 'Cause just the like the build up of the emotions as he was playing and everything, it was just it told the story
Take
without
yourself
him even.
to build it
Yeah.
up, especially in just one instrument. So yeah, he
Mm.
done that. That was really well executed,
Mm.
just in in the scene, but the whole drama itself.
Yeah, they did well. It was a good cast. Yeah, just like as a summary, we knew the cast, we knew the director, so we were expecting something good. But I wasn't expecting how like to fall in love with the characters, especially even the main couple because there's a love story. It's so simple. Obviously, there's the family feud, but it
So yeah,
wasn't even.
it's a simple storyline, and it kind of
Yeah,
reflects real life in every aspect. And I think this drama in itself was an amazing drama, a drama I wasn't expecting to be on on the level that it was on, and
yeah,
the fact that it debunked a lot of things in the LGBT plus community,
yeah,
certain aspects about that community where they were just like, no, we're gonna change this and make it so it should be actually like this and not this. Why?
yeah.
Wait, but you're the wife. No, I'm a man, so it means I shouldn't have to
Exactly.
take the wife role. I can
And
take any role. Like, just because I'm a man doesn't mean I have to be like this or that. So
yeah,
things like
exactly.
it made the whole drama by itself, and it sets a bar very, very high in that other dramas. But I feel it may be a while before they can find another one that's gonna
Be as good.
do the
Yeah,
same.
yeah. Like you said, he had such a big impact on breaking those stereotypes about the LGBTQ plus community, especially in Thailand. And it also showed that like any LGBTQ plus relationship can have other issues outside. I mean, with their relationships that have nothing to do with the sexual orientation because in most, especially in Thai BLs, a lot of the issues they have is in them being gay, or and then they go with, oh, I'm not gay, I like you, and so it's always that's always the issue. So these couples show that they can have other issues in relationships that have nothing to do with the sexual orientation,
Mhm.
and their story showed like a really healthy partnership as well. At least show how a healthy partnership should be, and as we went on, I completely forgot that I was watching like a BL drama and I was just watching
Not kind of
like a love story. Yeah,
completely. Just that you're watching something, and it was a relationship between two people. That's what it
yeah,
was.
exactly.
It
Two people
wasn't
falling in love. That's
an
it.
actual. I think we mentioned this already, but there's a lot of give and take between them both.
Mm,
They were quite willing to, if there was an issue, they were going to talk about it. If there was something else going on, or when there was the feud between their friends, they were willing to step in some way and help the other in a subtle way, sometimes not so subtle, and then they kind of corner themselves, but they always seem to kind of find a way around it. So that's another thing I felt, that was something progressed
Exactly.
very nicely between the two, where they just
Mhm.
sort of, okay, let's deal with it this way, and rather than it drag on for episodes and episodes, it's kind of brought to the forefront at that moment, if not at that moment, at some point in that episode, rather than it being three,
Yeah.
20 episodes later. So that's another
Yeah.
thing that was um, prominent
Things
and
were addressed. Yeah.
original.
Things were addressed. Yeah. I think. Or actually, and with that in mind, the upcoming ones. I don't know. Bed Buddies has left a really big shoe to be
Like
fitted.
issues to feel very big.
I don't even know. Yeah, they've left a really big pair of shoes to fill. I don't know what Enchante is going to do. Um, the cast is not as strong in terms of like acting as the one from the current, but I haven't looked into the production team, so I don't know who's directing, who's the scripting um, team or anything. But yeah, I don't know if it will be. I mean, it will have success because it's a DMM drama,
Yeah.
but definitely won't be as big as
To be honest, I think that's another thing we have to think about, which is because of the impact Bad Buddies had, it's there are always going to be other dramas that come out, and they will be
mm,
good, and they will be successful to some degree. But I don't think they're going to be on the same level or have the same
that,
hype as Bad Buddies, which is going to
exactly. That's two that I'm hoping.
because the bar for it has become so high that
So high, yeah.
so I think
That's two that I'm hoping they do. One of them is Between Us.
yeah,
I mean, it's Pinu. We know Pinu is good, and I mean the cast is good. We've been hyping it so much. It's been 2 years. My phone, because like the Google photos send you the reminders. Like it's been God knows how many years is this one. There was this clip I took from Until We Meet Again when it was airing 2 years ago. It's been 2 years. 2 years, Emma. 2 years.
to be fair though, the pandemic didn't really help. It kind of set
No,
things back a bit, quite a fair bit. So yeah,
indeed.
they wanted to do things on a quicker scale,
Yeah,
but
exactly.
time wouldn't
It was
allow it.
good.
And with the current issues constraining in Thailand at the moment, um, for those of you that don't know,
Mm.
there's been a political injustice in Thailand for a while. In the last 2 years, it's kind of, well, no, not, I wouldn't say 2 years, but in the last year and a half, where it's really heated up, and it's become very difficult. It's starting to become um, more of a topic, and
Yeah, because
people
people are taking no for an
are
answer as they should. Yeah.
so far.
Yeah. To be honest, I've seen a few BL actors talking about it and sharing things on their
Yeah,
Twitter
few
pages and
have
things like
mentioned,
that.
yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
Which is, yeah. Let's pray things. Yeah. It's just the old government needs to, I don't know, disappear. Like Infinity Stones, if someone has them somewhere,
I mean,
and the system needs to be changed. The laws need to be changed.
to be a massive reform, but
Yeah, massive.
to be
Yeah,
honest, the reform happened before, and it wasn't something that worked, and now they want another.
yeah.
So
From the little I know, obviously as an external person that's not very into my. For what I see, the legal system, I think it's obviously everything impacts everyone, but I feel like the legal system it was creates bigger detriments for people's lives and what's causing like the most harm, like people with power and money getting away with a lot more things, and obviously that
that's true.
that
Yeah,
cuts a lot of room of growth for regular people, and then that affects the finances, affects everything.
the issue is that it's been like this for a very long time, and
Mm,
it's only now because of social media where things can't really be hidden anymore. So
yeah.
things have come to the forefront, and people started to notice it. So
Mm,
people aren't just sitting back anymore. They're going, okay, we see what you're trying to do, and you can't hide it anymore. So you need to start, making changes.
and owning up to your mistakes. Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah,
If you're
that's
wrong, do if you've done a certain crime, then you shouldn't be above the law. You should be punished as well for whatever crime you've committed.
mm,
But of course, police and the military being very high up in the chain, aside from
yeah.
um, they get away with a lot of things that
Mm,
should be legal but aren't.
oh, yeah. All right. On this sadder note, let's move on to our next corner.
Yes.
BLs in your area. So in this corner, we'll just talk about what the BLs that we're looking forward to watch or the ones that we're currently watching. And I guess we already talked about unpopular opinions. Did we talk about any? Do you have any unpopular opinion around Bad Buddies?
I can't say I do at the moment. No.
I feel like anything would be too controversial. And to be honest, I can't
Yeah, I
think of
don't
any.
really want to poke the bear while
Yeah.
it's
No, to be honest, my only one is seriously why I feel like we should have gotten an apology. I know uh, Pran and Pat are the ones that should get the apology, but I want to see it because you can't out someone like that.
true. Rather than it
Yeah.
being, I mean, it says a lot through actions, but yeah,
Mm.
saying something physically in words, it makes
Yeah.
it more easier to forgive someone.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Because he
uh,
accepted them because we were shown him accepting the relationship and making peace with the other faculty and things like that, but he didn't apologize for actually outing them. That's the key thing. But yeah, it's an issue for another time. But oh, what you've been watching these days?
uh, what am I watching these days? These days, I'm currently watching Paint with Love, which
Mm,
I just watched the current episode today actually.
I haven't watched it yet.
Um, and I really do feel like for Pap, his character sounds really
Mm,
Pap. Yeah, sounds more like rice. um, but yeah, I do feel for his character just because um, Mace Singtor, his
mm.
character, he's very like, excuse my French, he's a very stick up the bottom kind of person, and
Leave the men alone, okay?
he's a good actor. I give him that. I props to him because he's done an amazing job to bring
Yeah.
that character to life, and he's done it so well. But the person that is as the character that he's playing, yeah, it's like he's got to stick up his bottom. He's
But
quite
again, I get him because I'm a bit like that, you know. I feel like the other one, what's his name? What's the actor's name? I forgot.
who you're referring to.
Not Cinto, Cinto's Cinto's the second mate.
I know his name is Pap Phap. Pap.
Oh, but yeah. So Pop, literally, he's very liberal with things. I guess can get frustrated as well sometimes.
Wait,
It,
he's quite a carefree character, whereas Singtor's
uh,
character is not.
I know, but he's too carefree. No one's that carefree. Like, it gives me
Under
anxiousness.
certain way, then he has to have it that way. Whereas
Mm,
Pap is more like, no, just
good.
don't worry about it. Be stress free. If you want to do it,
Mm,
do it. If it's how you feel, say it. Whereas Singtor's character, no, he's like, if I feel this way, I don't have to tell anybody about it. I would do it in
mm,
a certain way by myself.
mm,
Um, but in the current episode, I won't give away too much. But he does. It's taken him a very long time to work through his feelings. He seems to kind of let it. He lets his guard down a little, like for a little time fraction, and then he brings it back up again. And you
I
can't
feel him.
tell when he's going to bring it up and when he's
Mm,
going to put down that wall.
mm,
When he's deciding to be vulnerable and when he's not. Most of the
mm.
time, he's on his toes and he doesn't let that wall down. But when he's around,
Yeah,
he lets it down. But more often than not, he doesn't. But there are a few moments, the tiniest fraction of moments where he's vulnerable, and you're kind of waiting for it to, like the floodgates to really open and for him to be a bit
mm.
more vulnerable.
And
But
actually, I what I've been feeling is that I've been like every time I watch that show, I feel like I'm him, and every time I like Pop does something that I know is trying to make him open up a bit more, I'm like, can you stop? Like literally, in my brain, I'm like, can you just stop, please? Just let him be. And like the little things he does, like that gets into that barrier a bit. Like even the days when he was pretending to be drunk or something to stay in the apartment, I was like, it's
Mm.
time. Can you just go home, please? That was me thinking as I was watching, which is probably what P-Bed's thinking about as well. But yeah, I know what you mean, and I'm sure we'll get like a good,
I'm
happy
sure.
ending.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
that was one of them. Another
Mhm.
one I'm watching is Not Me, which is still currently airing. It's about
Mm.
halfway through, or nearly half,
Yeah, I think you talked about it. Yeah, I watched. I think we're on episode 6 or something, isn't it?
something like that. Yeah, six or
Yeah. What is it? 55, 15.
Never Too Late. Yes.
Never too late. Ended.
Episode 9 at the moment, currently. As it's a lot to take in the drama
Mm.
because there's a lot going on. So I've kind of had to like watch a few episodes, then have a break, and then
Oh,
I kind
yeah.
of watched like 6 or 7 episodes back to back. So I kind of drained myself a little bit by doing that, and I had to
Mm.
take a few breaks in between in that as
Mm.
well. But yeah, it was because it was a lot to take in. So, but
I feel like it's one of those coming of age dramas with a hint of nostalgia because it takes you back to people that are already older, and
yeah,
then it's like coming of age for them again.
but yeah.
Yeah. Another one I'm watching is You're My Sky. I'm watching on Viki. It's also Thai. I think I talked about it before. It started recently and it's in early episodes. I think that's it. Oh,
Um,
I'm watching Color Rush too, but that's about it.
Actually, I was just thinking of that. I had semantic error in my head, and then I remembered Color Rush too.
The semantic error teaser that came out. These.
You know what? Let's discuss this a little bit because I'm starting to feel on the fence about this now. The
Hmm.
trailer was not what I was expecting. I kind of
Hmm.
maybe because of what you told me, I was thinking, okay, this is gonna be a really good drama. There's a
Hmm.
guy who has feel like the normal guys, and then there's a bit of romantic feelings. The one's never been in a relationship and can't work out the the mechanics of a relationship being between two guys and so on and so on.
Hmm.
And then the trailer comes out, and it's not what I was expecting. I
To
feel
be
like
honest,
it felt to me it felt like a letdown. I was still excited for it, but I was thinking, is this it? Like,
yeah, I think it's because I read the novel. I mean, I'm reading the novel because it's not
yeah,
done yet.
but
So and
to me it felt like it was missing something. Maybe
yeah,
it was
it's
like bad buddies in the sense of not on that scale, but I mean
mm,
it's not going to show everything anyway, but it's
mm,
kind of keeping you on your toes.
I don't
It didn't
know.
have enough for me to keep me on my toes. I'm only staying for it because I've heard the storyline, so I'm
Mm.
kind of intrigued to see how it plans out. But
This is me. This is what I'm. This is my biggest enigma as well because again, I've never seen either lead acting.
no,
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 Park So Ham. I'm lying. I'm lying. I've seen Park So Ham acting. He's not the best, but he's not the worst either. So it's been a while, quite a long while since I've seen anything with him like recent. I don't think he's done anything recently. So I'm sure he's been like
quiet.
practicing. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm sure he has been like practicing and everything.
Mm.
So, but again, I'm just going by the drama, the novel version as well. And I guess because I know what's coming.
Yeah.
In my head, I'm going by what I've read, not by what I've seen, and
Go
literally,
by what you've read as well, and if you
uh,
can relate it back to the trailer, if you
yeah,
can, without confusing yourself.
that's what. To be honest, wait, actually, let me play the trailer now and see if I can walk you through it. Oh, and there's another one apart from Semantic Error. Obviously, we already talked about Enchanté to my start to the other one is My Ride, the series. Another one that was delayed quite a lot because of COVID.
Damn COVID.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm looking at the teaser right now. It started off with Chusangu's beginning, him doing that presentation I told you about that no one turned up for.
Hmm.
So, and you can actually see on the PPT that there's like, oh, he's like the in all positions of the work, his name is there. And then it's the students laughing because of that. And then I guess Jang Jae-won, which is Park So-ham's like the oldest Sambae character, he gets like the message from his professor or whoever coordinates his course that he's going to fail that lesson. and then he goes to meet the kid, like I told you. The way they've done the color thing is basically him asking Tangu like what does he hate because he wants to annoy him. And I guess from him deciding to go to meet him, there's a missing part in the between because basically from like in the novel there was like at least three or there were nearly I think it was close to a week if I remember correctly because I read it quite a long ago. Quite like in between there's a week where he tries to call him to try and sort out the misunderstandings. Sangu keeps on rejecting his call and even saved the number as like not to pick up or like annoying somebody or something like that or irresponsible somebody, like something very degrading. And then he needs to for one of his like for his portfolio he needs to do like a game because he's very good with coding and stuff, while Jaeyoung, the older one, he's a good designer. So he was planning a game and he already scripted the game and everything. And he had spoken with an older student to be his designer so they can create the game. But that person found like another job and it was a paid one. So they said they can't do it. And they told Jang Taeyeon to go and replace it because they know how picky the Sangwoo is. So they sent him because they know he's like one of the best ones, even though he's nearly graduated already. So when he goes there, he continues to message the annoying undergrad student that he wants to try to talk to that has been ignoring him, and the undergrad Sangwoo's been ignoring as well. And then when they get together, he realized that the number is the same. So he calls it, and then he shows like in the phone, and that's actually quite a funny scene on the novel where as he's calling, like the name of the caller like comes up on the screen, and Jung Jae-yeon, Park So-ham's character, sees it, and he gets so annoyed. So that's why he says, "What don't you like?" Because he was thinking of like forgetting everything and just getting on with his life and doing whatever extra work he has to do, and then graduating and go to Taiwan or Shanghai, whatever, for his internship. But then when he sees that on the phone, it really annoys him. So he's like, I need to get my revenge. So that's why I asked, what don't you like? And then
okay.
so he's going to like dress up, and he's going to basically do everything he can while he's still a uni to annoy the heck out of Sangwoo. It's literally funny. I need to send you the link to it. You need to read it. It's really, really funny. So yeah, that's why I'm excited about it. I hope the drama doesn't disappoint because I'll be very annoyed. But yeah, we could do like an episode to talk about it as it airs.
Yeah.
Okay, but I guess that's about it. Have you got anything else?
It's my cat is being annoying. So if I keep away, that's the reason, everybody. So don't think I'm not paying attention. It's been a fun episode for this one. So I think, if anyone else has an opinion or maybe someone has a certain thought they agree with
about
exactly us, an unpopular opinion, maybe you want to add something else to our commentary that we've made, feel free to follow us on our social platforms. Yes,
do follow us on YouTube, subscribe to our channel, UnniesBLTalk, UNniesBLTalk. Yeah, I know what to spell now. Yay. Follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok as well. Same handle. And looking forward to see you. Oh, that's the cat. Looking forward to see you in our next shots. Oh, it's so cute.
5 minutes of fame.
Yeah.
Fly. Fly.
No.
My naughty cat. Look.
Yeah. You see, cats are much better than dogs.
Her name is Ply, which means gem or like a crystal gem. That kind of thing. Yeah. So she's a naughty girl, so I think sometimes she's a boy. Way to behave.
It's okay. She's a cat.
She's about 1.5, maybe 2.
I don't understand how animals age go, but yeah.
Oh, this one ages like fast. And it feels like God keeps donkeys. And then again, sometimes it only feels like yesterday. I got that.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Bye.
Let's wrap it up. Bye, everybody.